Welcome back from the quick break. The Studio 5 show still continues, and I am Belinda Inketia. I'm joined in studio by Angela Nyakwa. She's well versed in sports and exercise science. And this morning, she's going to educate us on the sedentary lifestyle and why movement in and of itself is medicine. You know, a lot of us do a lot of sitting in the office, a lot of laying down in bed, being idle and all of that. Or probably you think all those movements you do every day is enough to make up for, how much the body is required to be active or be moved all the time and whatnot. But this morning we have some news for you that it is never enough. Physical inactivity and sedentary lifestyle have some commonalities, but they are not really the same. So this morning, Miss Angela Nyakwa is going to help us in studio to understand the sedentary lifestyle epidemic and why movement in and of itself is medicine. Good morning, Angela. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm also doing great. You're looking so pretty this morning.
Thank you.
I hope everything is going on well. Your month is going on well, and everything is just fine.
Yeah, sure. Everything is going on well.
Okay. So as you may already know, Angela is no commoner on the show. She's a regular here. So, fast forward. Want to draw the line between sedentary lifestyle and physical inactivity. So can you educate us on what these two actually mean and why it's important that we get educated on what all of this is about?
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for the question as well. So sedentary lifestyle and physical inactivity are mostly interchanged, and these words will be running through my presentation, so it is very necessary I clarify the differences. So when we are talking about sedentary lifestyle or sedentary behavior, sedentary activities, they are activities that does not require a lot of energy expenditure.
Okay.
So the amount of energy that an individual is supposed to expend in a day, the person doesn't. So when someone is expending less than 1.5 metabolic equivalents in a day, then the person is being sedentary. Mm-hmm. Okay. So some of the activities that can be classified under sedentary lifestyle are using of your phones, laying in bed for a long time, chatting with your friends, working on your laptop all day. Mm-hmm. So all these activities requires less energy expenditure. And so the individual is being sedentary. Okay. Or is engaging in a sedentary lifestyle. Okay. And then here comes the physical inactivity. Mm-hmm. So physical inactivity looks at an individual not meeting the recommended guidelines by maybe ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine, okay, exercise prescription guidelines. So in a week, the general guideline is that each individual is supposed to exercise within 3 to 5 days. Mm-hmm. So minimally, you should exercise within 3 to 5 days. And this is because you should get some rest time for your muscles to recover. Okay. You've been putting them through a stress during each session. Okay. And so the muscles need time to also recover and then build stronger ones for you to keep on. So the line between sedentary lifestyle and then physical inactivity is that one has to do with energy expenditure. One not able, the sedentary lifestyle deals with you not being able to expend the necessary or the required amount of energy you are supposed to expend. And then the physical inactivity is not meeting the recommendations, how often you should exercise, the duration, the type of activity. So that is the line between physical inactivity and then the sedentary lifestyle.
So clearly then it looks like for physical activity, you're actually doing you're doing some activity, but it's not enough, yes, to meet that threshold. But for the sedentary lifestyle, you really are not doing anything at all. You're not expending the energy that the body is required. Interesting. But can a human being really, exist and not do anything, just be there the whole time and not expend any form of energy? What really causes this sedentary lifestyle? Because I don't think in a day at least you will move or you will do something. Yes. So what really causes this sedentary lifestyle?
Okay, so some of the causes, so let me make this clear.
Okay.
Mentioning them under the causes of sedentary lifestyle doesn't necessarily mean they are bad, okay, but because of the way we use them. Okay, so one example or one cause of sedentary lifestyle is technological advancement, okay, which has come to stay. Mm-hmm. And probably there will be more advancements than what we are seeing now. Mm-hmm. So of late, people work from home.
Of course.
Yes, so going back to your question where you were asking if people could actually stay a day without moving at all. You can move, but there's an amount of energy you should expend in a day. So if you are not expending that much, then you are being sedentary. Okay. Somebody can take part in the 30 minutes a day exercise, but aside doing that workout for that morning, the person, the rest of the day becomes very sedentary, because just after the workout, the person has to work from home. So sits behind the laptop for a very long time.
Exactly.
It is not bad to be in the office. It is not bad to work from home. But you should make sure your health is not at stake.
Okay.
So during such activities, you can take some active breaks.
Okay.
You get up, stretch a little, walk around, play some music, you dance a little, rather than staying idle for a long time. And then also urbanization. Urbanization is also a cause, and then our transport systems is also a cause for sedentary lifestyle, in a sense that a lot of people are moving from our rural areas into the cities. And then there are fewer jobs, and so you could get someone staying about an hour drive away from where he or she works. So even before the person starts working, the person has sat in a vehicle for over 1 hour.
And just when you get to the office, you zoom right into work.
You have to start working.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So what we advise is that mostly, if maybe you have your own vehicle, you take your own vehicle to work, you park maybe 15 minutes walk away from your office.
Really?
You get a safe space, yes.
So that's safe enough. Okay, well.
Yeah, you get a very safe space closer to your office, not so close, so that you can at least walk a little before you get to work, because probably you know that immediately you get to the office, even going out to take lunch becomes a problem. And so you take that time, you park few minutes away from your office, you walk a little, and then you get to your office. You've expended some amount of energy as compared to if you park just closer to your office. So urbanization is also another cause. As I'm saying, those things are not bad, but then how we use them, and then our transport systems, in a sense that in some areas, I wouldn't say there are no pedestrians pathways for individuals to exercise, but most of our areas don't have that safe space for pedestrians who would want to wake up at dawn to go and jog. For you know, you are sharing the road with the cars.
Exactly, and you can even meet Kwashe boys who can just take your stuff from you. Yeah.
So our environment, our society are not creating safe spaces for individuals who are interested in exercising or taking part in physical activity. Some people would love to train. Some people would love to exercise because they know the benefits that comes with engaging in physical activity. But the community is not safe. Cycling is also part of taking part in exercises. So if the person doesn't work, the person will cycle. And then the pedestrian is not even enough for just the person walking. How much more you have to share it with a cyclist?
I get it. So, I mean, all these can go ahead to cause what we term sedentary lifestyle. So, in the long run, what are the health risks that an individual that has adopted a sedentary lifestyle can suffer from? We all know it's not a good thing, but we want to know like the specific health risk that comes with it.
Okay, so some of the health consequences are most of these non-communicable diseases, like the hypertension, the diabetes, the obesity, and all. So to begin with, when one engages in physical activity, in simple language, you are building muscles.
Of course.
And so the heart is also surrounded by some muscles. We have the cardiac muscles, which are the heart muscles. So they become stronger and are able to pump enough blood to the working muscles. Your blood vessels become very free, and so blood flows through them very well. So when you're engaged in physical activities, it reduces the rate at which one can contract some of these conditions like the hypertension. But if you don't, it becomes a health risk. So people then become hypertensive. They depend on pharmacological aids like the drugs in order to survive. So hypertension is one health consequence of being sedentary. And then also obesity. And obesity is a risk factor for hypertension.
Of course.
I mean, do you understand? And then you can't judge someone's physique and then say the person is obese. You have to check the BMI first, which maybe it could be a topic for another discussion. So the BMI is basically just to know whether your height tallies with your weight. You can see someone looking and maybe skinny and all that, and you might think that maybe the person is fine, the person is not obese. But if we should go and check the BMI, which is the mass over the height squared, you would realize that maybe the person is overweight, even if not obese, you'll be overweight. Or the person is underweight, which needs attention also. So in as much as someone who is obese needs to be attended to, if you are underweight, you also need to be attended to. So obesity is also a health consequence. And then poor posture. Because those working from homes, for instance, they tend to be so glued to their phones or their laptops or whatever they are taking, and then the body assumes the position they are using to focus on that particular gadget. Exactly. And it's a very bad one, because with time, you realize that your muscles around your neck become very tensed, and then you would even be unable to assume the proper posture you are supposed to. Then you start feeling all these joint pains and all that.
Exactly.
Yes, so some of these are the health consequences of being sedentary. And then diabetes as well.
Diabetes?
It's also part of the, yes. So the muscles tend to fall during exercise.
Which of the types of diabetes though?
Type 2.
Type 2,
Type 2, yes. So the type 1 is the gestational diabetes, where some of the women get it when they're pregnant. And then we are talking of the type 2 diabetes. Yes, so being sedentary, one of the health risks is also diabetes, because if you are engaged in exercise, the muscle tend to fuel your body using this glucose. And then you're being sedentary.
Exactly. So if the glucose is not able to break down to, release the energy, then it
flows through the blood.
Exactly.
And then we would say you have high blood sugar.
Exactly. Yes. Leading to the diabetes. Interesting. So in all of this, what role does movement play in it? How does movement then become the medicine to it? Because from the conversation, we can all agree that you do not need medications to come out of sedentary lifestyle. The ultimate thing is for you to shake something up, move something up. So what role does movement play in all of this, and how does it even become the medicine to the solution of all sedentary lifestyles?
Okay, so movement becomes medicine in a sense that I think with my previous presentation here, we spoke about how exercise helps to release certain hormones in the body and then enhance our mood. So when these endorphins and then serotonins are released in the body, you have this feeling, the feel-good hormone, and then you don't get angry at just light things, like you just act anyhow. So exercise helps to regulate. So
those who easily get angry, they don't exercise.
Some people are just like that. But yes, exercise helps to regulate our moods.
Interesting.
Yes. So that is one of the way exercise is acting as a medicine. And then also I mentioned the cardiovascular aspect, where when you exercise, your heart muscles become stronger and enough blood is able to be pumped to all the working muscles for you to use. It regulates your weight, so you don't become overweight or you don't become underweight, but you just assume the normal weight of every individual.
Wow. Yes. So, that's how much movement can get you. So, can we get some practical ones? I know you already mentioned stuff like cycling, aerobics, and all of that. Are there more to it in enhancing our movement when it comes to, getting out of the sedentary lifestyle?
Okay, so some practical ways we can reduce sedentary lifestyle is by taking active breaks in our offices.
Active most important word. Active.
Yes, active breaks. So not like maybe you're just staying away from your laptop, then you're going to your phone to scroll up on TikTok to see what's going on. You take active breaks. You get up from your desk. You move around like for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then you get back to your desk. It even helps you to correct your posture if probably you were not sitting well in your chair. We can go a long way to also affect. So people have this low back pain, upper back pain, and all are because of the kind of postures we assume when we are working, or when we are sitting, or when we are lying down. So when you take active breaks during office hours, it helps you to correct the posture you're assuming. Okay.
So and that your body does not get used to just one posture. That's also, adopts in that regard. Okay.
And then also, another thing is you should try as much as possible to register with a gym. Okay, so if maybe
or probably a fitness club.
I think of late we have a lot of them around us. Even if not in the community where you stay, just maybe 2-3 communities away.
I think now most communities have this fitness clubs. I see them all over during weekends, and they are branded at us, like walking around.
And then please, I think we should be careful when we are joining such clubs as well.
Okay.
Make sure that people organizing that fitness club or the organizers of the club are well vested into the science of exercise.
Okay.
Some people just set up these clubs not to undermine whatever club. I don't want to mention names, but then you should know the person organizing the program should be well vested in the science behind exercise, because people tend to exercise and then later they get negative effects.
Okay.
Does the person know about warm-up? Does the person know about proper cool down when you're done exercising? Does the person know about fitness assessment? As in, before you enroll somebody into any activity, you have to get the clinical history of the person. Is the person diabetic? Is the person hypertensive? How does the person respond to exercises and all that? So that you'll be able to monitor the person. You don't just do the one-size-fits-all principle for everybody. So we are all running, so let's all run.
Okay.
Okay, you know
when you don't know the medical history of the individual.
Do you get it? So you should make sure you know the kind of fitness group you are signing up for, because it can be really detrimental to your health. So you feel like I'm exercising, but I'm not seeing anything, and it looks like my case is worsening. Okay. There are a lot of fitness clubs with proper sports scientists around, so you should try and register. So we have the physical activity guidelines, which talks about we have the FIT principle. So the FIT principle is an abbreviation. So the first F stands for frequency. So how often do you have to take part in a physical activity in a week? Okay. So I mentioned that earlier. It's supposed to be 3 to 5 times minimally in a week. Okay. Okay. And then the I stands for intensity. Okay. So the intensity of the activity, is it light? Is it moderate? Is it vigorous? Yeah. Yeah. So in exercising, we have certain principles. The overload, the progression, and all that. And so you can't just start anyhow. Maybe you can start with light exercises, then maybe light to moderate, then moderate to vigorous, just like that.
Depending on how your body is able to adapt, and the strength you will be able to expel out.
That is it. And then the T stands for the time. Okay. So the duration you use during each activity. And then the last T stands for the type of activity,
so which is fit with double
aerobic. T. Yes, double T, fit with double T. Yeah. So the last T stands for the type of activity you are engaging in. Is it aerobic? Is it anaerobic? So when we talk of aerobic exercises, they are the ones that use a lot of oxygen, like jogging, cycling. But the anaerobic ones are the ones that during the activity, you don't really use a lot of oxygen, and they are very short. The aerobic ones, which you use oxygen, can take a longer time. But with the anaerobic, like the weightlifting, you see when they are lifting like like that, so you are not able to use enough oxygen, but then it's for a very short period. So you get to know the type of activity you are engaging in as well. So that is it for the physical activity guidelines.
Yeah, interesting conversation and a very, very important discussion as well. But the show has to continue, and we still have a lot more on our decks to clear. But what's one thing that you leave with anybody listening to you this morning, even if they didn't get anything from this conversation? That's one thing that they should never forget about when it comes to the sedentary lifestyle, and how they can, not be sedentary. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much to my viewers. I think one very key message I would like to leave with my viewers is that some of the main prescription may not come from the pharmacy, or may not be supposed to come from the pharmacy, but then just from simple movements. People feel like smoking, taking alcohol, and all that are the only worst things that cause health hazards to our health. But then sitting is becoming the new smoking. And that is why I appreciate and then applaud our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for the free primary health care program, which looks at preventives and then education, rather than the disease coming and then we trying to take care of it. We always say that prevention is better than cure. And so we applaud our president very much for bringing in the free primary health care, which aims to help prevent and educate individuals, especially at the community levels. So please, my viewers, try as much as possible to move more, sit less, and then you get healthy. Thank you.
Try as much as possible to move more, sit less, and be healthy for yourself. Interesting conversation. Very, very important conversation on the science behind the sedentary lifestyle and why movement in of itself is an exercise that can help us come out of this kind of lifestyle. I did this with Miss Angela Nyako. I'll be glad to have her coming on, in subsequent days to educate more on our health and priorities as well. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Belinda Nkesi. I'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, the Studio 5 show still continues with some more sports updates. So please stay with us.